The multiverse trembled. It was not a subtle shudder, nor was it a mere fluctuation in the fabric of existence. It was an event felt across all timelines, all dimensions, and all possibilities. The Living Tribunal, the supreme arbitrator of balance across the Marvel multiverse, sensed the disturbance long before it took form. An anomaly had emerged, one that defied the natural laws of reality, an entity that operated beyond the tribunal's reach. It was not merely an aberration, it was a being who perceived time as a single moment, a god of quantum existence. It was Dr. Jonathan Osterman, known to those who whispered in awe as Dr. Manhattan. Across the infinite layers of existence, the tribunal stood as judge, jury, and executioner, ensuring that no single force disrupted the cosmic scales. It had witnessed the rise and fall of celestials, observed the wars between chaos and order, and even intervened when the likes of Thanos threatened to unmake creation. Yet despite all its omnipotence, the tribunal now faced something it had never encountered before. An intelligence so detached from mortal logic that it did not obey the tribunal's laws. The tribunal's three faces, equity, necessity, and vengeance, spoke in unison across the cosmic tapestry. A being exists beyond our decree, a presence whose very existence bends reality in ways that threaten the equilibrium of all things. Eternity, the embodiment of time, appeared before the tribunal, his vast cosmic form shifting between infinite stars and swirling nebulae. This being does not disrupt balance with malice, Eternity mused. He simply is. But the tribunal was not swayed by passivity. It knew that power without constraint was as dangerous as tyranny, if left unchecked. Dr. Manhattan's infinite perception could unravel causality itself, disrupting the intricate web that held all of existence together. The decision was made. The tribunal would seek out this anomaly, confront him, and, if necessary, pass judgment. On a barren world, a trillion light-years from any known galaxy, Dr. Manhattan stood alone. His glowing blue form pulsed with an ethereal light, his expression one of perpetual contemplation. He had long since abandoned the petty conflicts of humanity, transcending beyond the trivial concerns of mortality. He had become something more. He had walked among gods, observed the birth and death of stars, and even in his solitude, he was never alone, because every version of himself existed simultaneously. When the tribunal arrived, it did so not with sound or spectacle, but with an overwhelming presence that commanded all of reality to acknowledge it. The three-faced being materialized before Dr. Manhattan, its golden form radiating an authority that no mortal could defy. Manhattan did not react with awe or fear. Instead, he observed, "You are the Living Tribunal," he said, his voice devoid of emotion. "You believe yourself to be an arbiter of balance. You perceive yourself as above all, but even you are bound to a structure, a design you must uphold." The tribunal's many eyes regarded him with an inscrutable gaze. "You are outside of my authority. You exist beyond the natural order. This cannot be allowed." Dr. Manhattan tilted his head slightly, as though the concept intrigued him. "And yet here I am." The tribunal's form pulsed with celestial energy. "If you will not submit to balance, then balance will be imposed upon you." Dr. Manhattan exhaled, not out of frustration, but as a simple gesture of acknowledgement. He had seen this moment before. He had foreseen the battle before it began. He had foreseen the end. And yet he did not resist. For the first time in eternity, the Living Tribunal prepared for a battle unlike any it had ever faced. The cosmos held its breath. Where once there had been the serene flow of time, now there was an undeniable disturbance. The Living Tribunal and Dr. Manhattan stood face to face, two beings whose mere existence defied conventional understanding. One was the supreme arbiter of all realities, bound by an eternal mission to maintain balance. The other was a man turned god, unrestricted by the constraints of time or space. The battle would not be fought with fists. It would be a clash of cosmic will, of forces so far beyond the comprehension of lesser beings that even gods and abstracts would struggle to perceive its outcome. The Living Tribunal made the first move. not out of aggression, but as an act of necessary order. With a mere thought, it called forth the might of the multiverse itself. Infinite realities converged into a singular point of judgment, collapsing upon Dr. Manhattan in an attempt to erase his very concept from existence. Planets, galaxies, and timelines were woven into an intricate lattice of destruction, all bound by the Tribunal's law. It was not an attack, it was a decree. Manhattan's existence was to be nullified, and yet he remained. As the forces of the Tribunal bore down upon him, Manhattan raised a single glowing hand. In that instant, all of the Tribunal's actions became undone, not reversed, not counted, but simply removed from the equation as though they had never occurred. The Tribunal's three faces observed in silent contemplation. You do not resist with force, yet our will is denied. Explain. Manhattan's blue form flickered. You believe you impose judgment, but judgment requires linear time. I exist in all moments at once. I have already seen your verdict, and I have already undone it. For the first time in eternity, the Tribunal experienced something akin to uncertainty. It was a being of absolute authority, and yet Dr. Manhattan existed beyond its reach. But the Tribunal was not bound by emotion nor by pride. It simply did what was necessary. It changed the fundamental laws of reality itself. If Manhattan could not be erased, then reality would shift to a state where he had never been created. The atomic accident that had birthed him would not occur. His past, present, and future would be rewritten to remove his influence from existence. But as the Tribunal altered the multiversal constants, it found itself staring at the same being once again. You cannot erase me, Manhattan stated simply. For every outcome you create, I already exist within it. The Tribunal's golden form burned brighter, its authority pressing against every fiber of reality. Then there can be only one resolution. In an instant, the Tribunal expanded beyond all creation, calling forth the raw power of the one above all, the highest force in the multiverse. It became not just the judge of balance, but the very essence of existence itself. The Tribunal had never truly fought before, but now it delivered a final decree. Your existence is an anomaly, and all anomalies must be purged. Dr. Manhattan stared, his expression as calm as always. He raised a hand as if to respond, and then he simply stopped. For the first time, Dr. Manhattan no longer saw the next moment, no longer saw his past, his future, or even his present. He was cut off from time itself. The Tribunal had not destroyed him. It had not erased him. It had done something even more absolute. It had ruled that Dr. Manhattan had never been a part of the multiversal balance in the first place. And with that decree, Dr. Manhattan simply ceased to be. The battle was over before it had truly begun. Dr. Manhattan, a being who had seen all things before they happened, had finally encountered something beyond his comprehension, a judgment that could not be avoided, because it had already been decided before existence itself. The Living Tribunal stood alone once more. The balance was maintained, the anomaly was gone, and the multiverse moved forward, as it always had.